what the f are you doing? Yo, the idle is actually sounding worse and worse on this bike every day. So I didn't ride Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 3 days of withdrawal. Something that I've seen happening quite a lot on social media, and it kind of just brought something to my attention. And I think it's a lesson that I learned the hard way. Let me basically explain what I see, what the issue is that I see. What, dude? So yeah, something that I see is when a car does something to piss off a biker. You know, let's say you get cut off by a car. Now the number one thing that I always see is bikers will go and rev their bike up. You know, that up. Now all that does is get the driver to go, oh, what's happening? You know, what's going on? So then the biker, the driver, will then just end up stopping, and you know, you kind of just you're making the situation worse for yourself. Now I'm not saying when somebody cuts you off don't hoot at them, but what I am saying is don't take it to the extreme, because something that I've seen a lot, especially in the last 2 days when I've been spending my time on social media doing nothing, is okay, well, just this morning, okay, I see a guy, he's riding on his bike, cruising, doing over the speed limit. Actually, I think he was doing the speed limit. Yeah, so dude was cruising, he's doing the speed limit on a road, and a car pulls out in front of him, you know, from like one of those side roads. So what does the guy do? He just starts revving at him, pulls in his clutch and starts revving, and he doesn't brake. He just revs, you know. So instead of braking and avoiding an accident, the dude just hits this rev limiter. And it's like people think when you hit your rev limiter at cars, the cars are just gonna disappear. My guy, it doesn't work like that, you know. And it's not just, you know, in terms of like hitting your rev limiter and stuff like that. Basically, not 100%, but like basically. What happened with me was I was going through an intersection, making a right turn, and then some dude like just went flying to the intersection. So then I looked to the right and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? You know, with much more vulgar words. And so now I'm looking to the right at this guy who cut me off. I'm not paying attention to what's happening in the intersection, you know, because I want to give this oak a piece of my mind. Next thing I know, I'm flying through the air because I got hit by another car. Why? Because I was reacting to something that somebody did. Now let me just tell you, if I had not reacted to what that guy did to me, if I just let it slide, I would have seen the car coming through the intersection, and maybe, just maybe, I would have avoided that accident. It's a difficult thing to explain because I don't want people to get the wrong idea here. I don't want people to think that I'm saying, you know, just let cars do whatever they want to. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, don't overreact to situations, because, you know, alone, if you just take the thing that I saw this morning, if that guy had just decided to brake and swerve out of the way, instead of just hitting his rev limiter and staring at the car like it's supposed to magically disappear out of his way, he probably could have avoided that accident. I don't know, dude. It's like, you know, like I said, I don't want to give off the wrong idea of what I'm trying to say here, but basically, to summarize what I'm trying to say is, if a car cuts you off, oh, what the f are you doing? I don't know who was at fault there. Maybe I was at fault, so I'm sorry if I was at fault. But sure, there's a lot going on right now, guys. A lot. Bikers do tend to think that we own the roads. Like, you know, I'm just going to admit that right now. If you ride every single day, you are going to have a lot of situations where people are going to piss you off. And if you go and react to those people every single time, you're going to get yourself into some sticky situations, boys. I think if you're hooting, that's a different story, because then you like, you got both hands on the handlebar, you're holding your hooter, and that's fine. But don't put yourself in a situation where you're doing something that reduces your ability to avoid an accident. I'm going to go back to what I saw this morning. Instead of braking, instead of swerving, what did he do? Rev bombed and flipped him off. And what happened? He T-boned the car when there was a completely open lane to the left of him. So if he hadn't rev bombed or flipped this guy off, he could have swerved into the left lane and avoided an accident. I don't want you guys to get the wrong impression. I'm going to say this a lot because fuck, there's some salty dudes on YouTube. Like, everybody's going to take what you say and just blow it up into something else. Like with that video on why I don't ride, why I don't wear gear. Motherfuckers were attacking me. So yeah, I do have to be careful with what I say and how I say things. If somebody cuts us off or somebody does something to us, the likelihood of us having a fatal accident is, I don't know, there's probably stats. I'll pop it up now if there are stats, but I assume that the likelihood of us having a fatal accident is much higher. So if something happens that could cause an accident for us, obviously we're going to react more aggressively than a car would, because, if a car gets in an accident, I don't know what the likelihood of it being fatal is. I suppose it depends on, multiple things. But I do think that motorcycle riders do tend to think that we own the roads a little bit. However, I do think that that is derived from the fact that we are at so much of a higher risk on the roads. So I'm not saying it's 100% justified, but I do think that there's a reason for the way that we act. Do your evasive maneuvers, do your swerve, do your progressive braking, like Mr. Dan Dan the Fireman says. If you don't know Dan Dan the Fireman, you guys are missing out. Go and check him out. He's amazing. He's the reason I'm still alive. Once you are safe, once you are out of danger, then pull up next to the car and do whatever you want to do. I'm not saying take his mirror off, verbally abuse him or anything like that, but do what you want to do. But before you do whatever you want to do, make sure you're safe, boys. But yeah, something that I just wanted to touch on quickly is that my Insta360 is actually not working anymore, guys. So things are going to be a little bit different on the channel for a while, especially on YouTube, especially on Instagram. When I had the 360, it was possible to record in portrait, obviously, but now if I want to record in portrait on the GoPro, well, that's another story. So yeah, the videos for Instagram are mainly gonna be landscape for now. Give the boys a little bit of a rev. Unfortunately, I'm not in a financial position to just go and buy another camera willy-nilly. But we're going to try and figure something out. With the feedback about the audio, again, guys, right now I'm not in a position where I can go and just buy another microphone. So right now it's just going to have to do, unfortunately. I've got a million things that I need to sort out. And not to mention the fact that my suspension is still leaking. My brake pads have been non-existent for like 5 months now. Things are not going really well for me right now. Basically, I just have to keep moving forward with what I've got. We're going to have to just make a plan, make do with what we have. We are going to sort out a camera as soon as possible. That is at the top of my priority list right now. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was a little bit of a mess today, but I did just want to talk about something that I noticed, and then obviously I just wanted to kind of update you guys on the current situation that we're in. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you all in the next one, and I hope you all had a good weekend.